Well, firefighters continue to pour water on a massive meat packing plant fire in Burlington at this hour, and the Ontario Fire Marshal's office is going to be there this morning to try to determine a cause. Now, the flames initially erupted at the Paletta International Corporation building. This is at Appleby Line and the QEW around 4 yesterday afternoon. The fire starting in the east end of the building. Half of the plant destroyed. Firefighters, however, were able to prevent it from consuming the other half. And fortunately, no one was hurt.
The positive is that everybody's been accounted for, which is the best that we can hope for in the circumstances.
Several roads in the area closed at the time. However, they have reopened this morning. A Toronto judge will begin to charge the jury today in the murder trial in the death of Laura Babcock. During the 7-week trial, the Crown alleged that Babcock was murdered because of her role in a love triangle between accused killer Dylan Millard and his girlfriend. Millard, who is representing himself, made the closing arguments earlier this week, saying there is no evidence to suggest that Babcock is dead, and reminding the jury that some witnesses reported seeing the victim after it was alleged she was murdered. The lawyer for co-accused Mark Smitch made the claims that his client was not part of the love triangle, so he had no reason to murder her. After the judge finishes giving the jury instructions, they're going to be sent off for deliberations, which could take days or weeks. An update now to the wildfires in Southern California. 46,000 people told to leave their homes as 5 major wildfires burn northwest of L.A. Absolutely eerie, menacing orange glow as motorists travel along part of what's normally the scenic Interstate 405 near Bel Air. Close to 400 square kilometers of land has now been scorched, engulfing at least 150 structures. More than 260 schools in the affected areas are closed today, and the big fear is that the strong Santa Ana winds whipping up to over 100 kilometers an hour today could make matters worse.
There's a lot of potential for some large fire growth on the north and west side of this fire in the next 24 to 48 hours. Resistance to control is going to be very difficult because of the large probability of spot fires that will establish easily and spread rapidly and tend to confound control efforts.
The fires growing so large they can actually be seen from space. These photos actually tweeted by a NASA astronaut aboard the International Space Station. On the ground, tens of thousands are being warned to pack and be ready to flee in a moment's notice. Protests happening right now after President Donald Trump's decision to recognize Jerusalem as Israel's capital. Palestinians are taking to the streets to demonstrate. And there's a general strike in the area with the Palestinian Education Ministry declaring a day off. Rallies being held in the West Bank, the Gaza Strip, and Palestinian areas in Jerusalem. Trump's decision to recognize the capital, as well as moving the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, has temporarily derailed the Israeli-Palestinian peace process. 2 senior White House officials told the CNN that, Canada saying there are no plans to move its embassy. Well, as large-scale Air Force drills continue over the Korean Peninsula, a United Nations official has landed in North Korea to try and smooth tensions. It is the first UN visit to the reclusive nation in 6 years. Pyongyang furious at the joint U.S.-South Korea joint drills involving some 230 aircraft. The North has gone as far as declaring war to be inevitable. Tensions have been sky-high since Pyongyang's missile and nuclear testing in recent months.